Hello and welcome everyone to our Yule ritual. This is called the 12 Magical Nights, and it is my favorite ritual that I do all year long. So thank you so much for joining us. We're going to start today. Oh, here comes Melissa. Wonderful. We're going to start today by really getting in touch with our desires. Sometimes we need a little magic to just get us past our brain and drop us straight into what really feels right to us. What do we want to feel and experience more of? When we write our wishes, we already did this in here, but we'll talk about it so that those who haven't done that yet can do that. It's an interesting balance. On the one hand, we want wishes that feel really specific to us, so that we have this kind of evidence that what we want is coming true, right? We want to see evidence in the world that we are manifesting our desires. So there has to be some specificity to it so that we can go, yes, I see that. It's true. It's real for me. So there's this aspect of like, wouldn't it be wonderful if in there, right? So when we look at our kind of high level, what do we want? What would be evidence that that is true? What would that look and feel like, that this is real for me? On the other hand, we don't want to get too specific because that brings up resistance. As soon as we say, I want $1 million in my bank account, resistance shows up and says, that's unrealistic. That's not going to happen. Or we get to the end of the year, we look at our list and we go, well, $1 million didn't land in my bank account. So this is all bunk. Rather than looking at all the ways that wealth did flow to us and through us this year. And we're overlooking that because we're saying, but it didn't show up in the very specific way that I asked it to. And therefore, this is not real. And what we're doing then is we are putting constraints and limitations on the universe, and the universe doesn't like those. The universe is limitless, right? The universe wants to be able to surprise and delight us with something that maybe we never even thought of, that was so amazing and perfect for us that we never could have even come up with it. So this is the beautiful balance that we are playing with here. We're allowing the universe to fill in, to show us the possibilities, but at the same time, we're proving to ourselves that yes, I am powerful and I can bring things into my reality. Let me clarify that, because what we're doing is we're not actually like bringing things into reality that weren't here. What we are doing is we are noticing that these things already exist. These things already exist around us. Wealth is all around us. Health is all around us. Vibrancy, all of these things, joy, all these things that we want, they are already here. But we are not always focusing on them and we don't always notice them. And so the whole point of this exercise, like source energy already knows exactly what you want. It knows exactly what you want and it's already working on it. Okay. Like that's a done deal. You are on your path. It's already happening. It's already unfolding all around you. You don't have to do any of this for that to be true. Believe. Okay. Know that that is true. That said, the reason we do this is to remind ourselves and our subconscious to look for these things, to pay attention to these things, to focus on noticing that this is real and this is true and this is here in our reality already. And so then it grows and it expands because just like, that Netflix algorithm, the more shows you watch like this, the more shows it suggests to you. Oh, did you want to watch more like this? Right? You have an experience around joyful interactions with your family. Did you want more of that? Would you like more like that? Okay, so that's what this is. It's us reminding ourselves that, hey, these are the kinds of shows I want to watch more of. I'm just going to put that into my algorithm here, do a little search for it to remind myself that, yeah, there's all kinds of shows like that all around me. And I can plug into them at any time. It's already here within us. It's just a matter of taking the time, right, to focus on it and feel it and experience it. Because that's all that this is. It's an experience, right? Consciousness is consciousness. We're just having an experience of it. And so this is about focusing our experience where we want to experience. That made sense in some way. Okay. Fabulous. So what we're going to do first is one of my favorite exercises. It is the magic wand exercise. And so what we're going to do is a little visualization where we are going to step immediately into the reality where everything that we deeply desire is already true. It's already here. It's done. Okay. And we're just going to look around and see what's there. And we might surprise ourselves. You never know what you might discover in this reality that you hadn't even thought was like, oh, I wanted that. Well, here it is. Okay. So what I would love for you to do is to just get into a comfortable position, whatever that feels like for you. Just make sure you're super relaxed and comfy. We're going to breathe some colored light into our body. And if you want to share with the group what color you got, feel free. Otherwise, you can just say that to yourself and just notice it. All right, ready? We're going to breathe in. Oh, I got my favorite, kind of bright teal with little sparkles. Again. And I got gold. What do you guys get? One more time. I got a lovely sunset color that time. Kind of tangerine-y pink. Beautiful. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to wave my magic wand here. This is my personal magic wand. Okay. It is very magical for me. I'm going to wave this magic wand. And once I do, everything that you deeply desire is going to come to be. It will be real. And I want you to close your eyes and see this reality. I will walk you through a day in the life of this new existence. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Magic wand waved. You are now in your ideal reality. And what I want you to do is in this reality, feel yourself in your bed. You are in your bed. It's first thing in the morning. You are just waking up, realizing that a new day is dawning with limitless possibilities. And I want you to feel what this bed feels like. How comfy and warm and cozy is this bed that you are in right now? Feel the weight of the comforter or whatever it is that's on top of you. Feel the pillow. What does it feel like? What do your sheets feel like? And now before you even open your eyes and look around this room where you are, I want you to breathe in and smell a delicious, wonderful, delightful scent of some kind. Maybe it's wafting up from the kitchen downstairs. Maybe it is coming in from a window that's open. Whatever it is. Yes, Claire, absolutely. You can take notes as things come up, but we will take notes when we are done as well. Now then, I want you to open your eyes within your visualization. You don't have to open them. And look around this room and just see what it looks like. Where are you? What is the quality of the light in this room? What is the temperature of the room? See as much detail as you can, colors, shapes. What does the furniture look like? What's on the walls? Is there a window? So I want you to look out the window and see what that view is. What can you see from here? And I want you to open that window, take a deep breath, and listen to the sounds. Where are you? What can you hear? And when you're ready, I want you to feel the floor on your feet. Is it smooth? Is it fluffy? Is it warm? Is it cool? And make your way to the bathroom, where you are going to see yourself in the mirror. What does this version of you look like? The version of you that has everything your heart desires, that is completely free to be their authentic self in every situation. What does this version of you look like? And I want you to give yourself a big old high five in the mirror. Tell your reflection, I love you, gorgeous. We're about to have an amazing day. And then you are going to make your way to wherever your kitchen is. And again, I want you to smell this amazing smell, that there is food here already. You are supported in this space. You might see another person here, or you might just understand that there is support, there is partnership, there is community in this world, and you are taken care of. And I want you to enjoy a delicious breakfast. Taste what it tastes like. Maybe you're just a coffee person in the morning or a tea person. That's okay too. Whatever resonates most with you. Now you're going to do something to move your body. It doesn't have to be exercise. It's just something that makes you feel awake and alive and really helps you enjoy this physical existence. So just feel yourself doing that thing, that wonderful physical thing. We're going to do something that feels like play, but you know is work, is really directly related to your purpose. You are giving your authentic gifts. I want you to see yourself doing that. Sharing your gifts with the world in some way. Knowing that you will be amply compensated, handsomely paid for this. I want you to really feel the impact that you're making. Maybe that means that someone's telling you how much your work has impacted them. Maybe you're seeing the impact of your work in some way? Just take a moment and really feel the impact of what you're doing. And now you get some unexpected, delightful news. Something you didn't see coming at all. Out of nowhere, surprise, wonderful news has arrived. And I want you to decide how you're going to celebrate this. How are you going to celebrate this wonderful news? Who are you going to tell? And what are you going to do to celebrate this magical, synchronistic serendipity that has arrived? Whenever you're ready, come on back to me, open your eyes, and just write down as much as you can about what you remember from that experience so you don't lose it. I'll give you a few moments to do that. So now I want you to just think about, does this inform in any way the wishes that I have come up with? Do I need to make any alterations? And if for those of you who have not written your wishes yet, this is a great time to do that. So what I want you to do is to write 13 statements. These are affirmations, okay? We're stating them in the present, in the positive, as if they have already come true. They are already real here and now. So I'll give you a couple of examples here. I attract an endless supply of love, respect, and magic money. That's one of mine. I am handsomely rewarded for giving my gifts, sharing my authentic energy, and creating space for others to act as their inner being. I live in a permaculture food forest that supplies everything I need. So you can see there's a balance here between specificity and generality. I am surrounded by evidence too obvious to miss that I am blessed, wild, and free. And when you are done writing your 13 wishes, what we're going to do, there's two options. Okay, I'm going to show you right now. You have two options. One of the options is to get a pine cone. I have a fancy looking pine cone because I like fancy. And you're going to take 13 bay leaves and write in Sharpie your wish on each bay leaf. Okay, so each bay leaf is a wish, and then you're going to stick them into your pine cone like so. Make a fancy kind of decoration. You can stick other things in here too, like lemon slices or orange slices or little cloves, whatever you want to put on here to make it look extra fancy. You can put it up on your mantle so that it's a part of your kind of Yuletide decorations. You can also just keep it kind of here, you know, on your altar or wherever you want to put it. The other option is your ritual jar. So if you, like me, had a bunch of stuff in your ritual jar, what you want to do is take everything out of your ritual jar. You can see I've kind of got it over here. Lay it all out, because what we're doing is giving ourselves a hard reset. We're giving ourselves an opportunity to release everything that we thought we wanted before, and give ourselves the opportunity to re-up and go, is this what I still want? And we're recharging these beautiful magical items by allowing them to be kind of out in the air during this, our shortest day, longest night. That makes sense? So you have this empty jar now, and the other option is that we're just going to write these on little slips of paper and crumple them up and put them into our jar. And then each night, so tonight at sunset, sunset is, I think, the best time to do this. You're going to take one wish out of your little jar, or pull a bay leaf out of your pine cone, and you're going to burn it. So if you have a fireplace, you just say to yourself, okay, so these are the magic words. Ready? This or something better. Pretty simple, easy to remember, okay? Because you're just saying to the universe, like, I don't know exactly what the perfect thing would be, but maybe you do, okay? So I've got this idea, but if you've got something better in store for me, great, bring it on. So we say this or something better, and then we throw it into the fire. And you can say, so mote it be, if you like, or you can just say, my wish is granted. So we take this, throw it in the fire. If you don't have a fireplace, what you're going to want to do is empty all of these out of the jar and actually burn it in the jar itself. This is great for an apartment or someplace, because you want it in a contained space where you're not going to set things on fire, right? Now, you can also do the same thing with the bay leaves. Just burn them in a jar. You don't have to crumple them. They burn really well. It's one of the cool things about bay leaves. And then when you are done on January 2nd, you will be left with one wish. This was Amy's idea, and I absolutely love this, and I'm yoink stealing it forevermore. You will be left with one wish, and what you're going to do is you are going to read that wish out loud. The other ones we didn't read out loud. Notice. We just trusted the universe to know what we meant and allow that energy to go. That's why we write them down on a notebook first, okay? And then we put them onto these bay leaves or little slips of paper so that we can keep this and look at it next year on the solstice and just check back in and go, hey, how did this come true? How did this happen, right? And it's the fun of like forgetting that I even asked for that, but then here it showed up in this way. So what you want to do is take that last wish and you're going to read it out loud, and then you're going to post it somewhere prominently, because this wish This one, you're going to make it come true. This year, you're going to focus your energy on making sure that whatever is written right here happens. Make sense? We'll check in on this too, because of course, I'll see you again. But we're going to do this together. My first wish. You're welcome to do this along with me if you already have a wish ready to roll. So if you want to take a moment now, I have like another little paper sheet here, smaller pieces of paper. You are welcome to join me. So I'm going to take my first wish here. I'll give you a moment to write yours up if you want to. Go ahead. Burn it in the jar. So I have here my ritual candle. You ready? All right, fabulous. This or something better. Let me just let it burn in the jar. Smoke in my eyes. Of course, if you want to be extra witchy with it, a fire in a fireplace is always the way to go. If you have a fireplace, make a fire. It's the Yule tradition. If you have a log, even, you can burn that Yule log. But you can do this in any way that makes sense for you in whatever space you're in. Do not allow the limitations of your space to dictate what you can and cannot do, okay? Find a way that works for you. Because the important thing here is just putting this wish out into the universe. The other thing that you can do, if you don't want to make a fire every night, is just once a night, you take a wish, don't look at it, and just say out loud, this or something better, set it aside, and then at the end, you have your final wish, and then put all the others back into that pine cone and throw it into the fire all at once. That works just as well too, okay? So there's all kinds of different ways to do this, but the idea is we are putting these wishes out into the universe and reminding ourselves of what is possible. That wouldn't it be wonderful if, right? Wouldn't it be incredible if this or that happened? If you are having trouble coming up with wishes, one of the things I can recommend to you is to go through categories. So you might want to think about the category of health, the category of wealth, the category of love, the category of glory, purpose, travel, all the areas of your life, adventure, fun, right? Whatever speaks to you. Go through each one and think about that if you're having trouble coming up with these wishes. And again, don't overthink it. The universe already knows what you want, okay? You don't have to, this is not a test that you can fail. But the very important thing that I want you to do is just feel wonderful every time you burn one of these wishes. Feel wonderful because you know that you are loved and supported. You know that the universe has your back. You know that everything is working out for you. You know that surprises and delights are on their way that you never could have imagined. Every time you burn a wish, have that feeling. That you are about to be invited to a surprise party that was designed perfectly for you. I would love to hear if anyone wants to share any of the wishes that they are making this year. Or if you want to share anything from your magic wand experience earlier. Claire, I'm really curious as to what you had to write down immediately.
Well, the smell. I had to, I wrote tangerine and lilac was the
Mm.
yeah.
Oh, that
That's
sounds
I don't
amazing.
usually seek out citrus smells, but I do like citrus smells. Um, I was just so when I woke up in the bed, I just felt so balanced and present with myself and everything. I was on the equator. It was balanced in that way with and like with the sun and the like day lengths, the temperature was so balanced and the floors were just stone and everything was just smooth stone. And it felt very collaborative and balanced.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Claire, beautiful. Anyone else get specifics that they would like to share? I love that stuff. Keeping it to ourselves, huh? All right.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Oh, it's a miracle. Um, I would just say that the celebration that came to me after I got this surprise was twofold. So I had a very lovely dinner with my spouse, and then there was a girlfriend time, like around a table, all my sisters that I just love seeing and being with, and so many of the faces that came to me are people I only know online. And
Mm-hmm.
so just showing the value of this online friendships that I've built. They're as real as an in-person friendship. And so it was just neat. It was beautiful to see them all gathered in the same space because they
Mm.
wouldn't know each other except for me. So, like, isn't that just yum?
Oh, so yum. I love that. I love
Yeah.
that. I have, a long-standing dream. This is one of the things that's kind of imbued in all of this, of having a retreat center and just inviting all of my friends around the world to come and spend these special times together of the solstices and the equinoxes. Anyone who, can make that trip is welcome around the table.
Mhm. Thanks, I'm
Uh,
there.
Yeah, that sounds great. Yeah, one of my wishes unexpectedly came from like right before this. I had a meeting with my boss and it's kind of near our end of year reviews kind of thing. And he said something like, I have a calming presence in the team. And I was like, I love that. I don't know if it's true, but I'll take it. And I my wish list now. Like, I want to be a calming presence. That sounds wonderful.
You are a calming presence. You are. That's beautiful. I love that. Yeah. I got a question earlier today that I wanted to address. So my friend Jessie asked, and she's actually going to be part of our community moving forward, but she wasn't able to join us live. But Jessie, this is for you. So the question was, can I make a wish for someone else on behalf of someone else? Can I make a wish for others, or does it all have to be for me? And I said, of course, darling, you can make a wish for others, with the caveat that once you make that wish for others or for someone else, you must let go of that one completely. That's on the universe, right? That's not the 13th wish that you take care of yourself, because you don't control anyone else's energy. And we can get caught up in this ego trap, thinking that it's our job to fix someone else or to bring them what they want or make them happy. And that is just false. Okay. So we can absolutely ask the universe, like, hey, can you bring this energy to others and use me, right, as a conduit? Use me, put me to play, universe, right? Like, help others with this. And I want to be your instrument for that. Gorgeous. But then let that go. Just be the conduit, right? and allow that to come through you and be a channel for that energy. So again, we can notice when we are then helping others with this wish that we want for them. Like I have this wish for everyone, which is freedom. And that's my word of the year this year, 2024. Next week, we're going to be coming up with our theme words, by the way, for the coming year. But this one came to me really strong and clear, like freedom, freedom first, like freedom before anything else. Freedom, freedom, freedom. And I want that for everyone. I want that so much for everyone. And not just freedom from, right? Not just freedom from oppression and these things, but like freedom to create what you are called to create. Freedom to show up and shine in your authentic energy. Freedom to explore, right? Freedom to play. Freedom to go out into the world and meet all the people that you're meant to meet. Beautiful, beautiful freedom. So that's definitely a wish that I have for everyone. And in fact, I would say all of these wishes are really for everyone I know. You know, like, yeah, it's for me, but it's also, I want this energy so that I can share it. That's why I always say, what do you want to feel, experience, and share more of? Because once we have that, once this wish is true for us, now we're giving other people permission to openly desire that. Hey, if she had it, maybe I can have it too. To own that, right? Say, hey, if she's so free, why can't I be free? If she's so joyful, why can't I be joyful? I get this feedback all the time, like, oh, your energy's so great. How are you so, positive? I'm like, I'm not always, right? Like, but I give myself permission to have that big enthusiasm, to have that Tigger energy when it comes, to not try to squish it, right? And be appropriate. I'm inappropriately happy and I like it. And I love giving other people permission to be that big in their feelings. So remember that all of these wishes are not just for you, right? You wish these things so that you can be generous with other people, energetically and resource-wise, right? We want good stuff so that we can share it. Like, what's the point of having a bunch of good stuff if like we don't get to share it with anybody? Like, ugh, that sounds terrible. Whenever I wish for wealth, I'm not just thinking about me. I'm thinking about my family and my friends and all of the people that I want to share this wealth with. I want wealth so that I can be generous, so that I can share. But it always starts with you. If you don't have something to share, you got nothing, right? And so it always begins with us, and everything, again, it's already in here. It's already here. And you can tap into it at any time. But it is great to have this moment to remind ourselves to tap into it. This is why we set aside this time every year, 12 nights of it, of just taking a moment to feel exactly the way we want to feel and allow ourselves to just vibrate with that energy of our deepest desires and believe, know, not just believe, know that this is already ours. Just because we wanted it, it's ours. It belongs to us. And then for the rest of the year, we play that fun game of that's for me. Anytime we see something that shows up, we go, ah, yep, that's for me. That's part of my gift, right? I asked for that and here it is. So that's for me. Thank you. More like this, please. Because a big part of this is the discipline. And yes, I say discipline, okay, of acceptance. The discipline of receiving. Acceptance isn't just accepting the things that we don't want to accept, okay? Acceptance is also accepting the wonderful stuff that shows up. Acceptance is noticing and celebrating when good things happen. I accept, universe, thank you. I receive that with grace and joy and gratitude. I appreciate what is. what has showed up for me. Thank you. That's why this time is so sacred, because everything outside has slowed down, right? And we have this moment to remind ourselves, to remember that it's all about the feelings. We always have these feelings. We can always tap into them. And it's all about focus. It's just all about noticing. So this is our time of inner awareness, going inside. We've had this long retrograde season, right? Of going inside, going inside, going inside. And now we're releasing one after the other. On the 26th, Boxing Day, okay, I want to point out, it's a full moon, the full moon of light in the darkness, okay, hope. And Chiron is going direct. Let me tell you a little bit about Chiron. Chiron is all about trauma. And so when it goes retrograde, it brings up all of this old trauma, all of these past traumas. So it's been retrograde since the summer. Okay, we have been dealing with this. And so you may have noticed a lot of old traumas and patterns and things coming up and going, why? Why is this coming up now? Because it's time to release it. You're done with it. You don't need it anymore. It's healed. If it showed up for you during that time, that was Chiron helping you go, okay, we don't need this anymore. We are releasing that permanently. And so now when it goes direct, this is our chance to see how that impacts our life, that we are no longer bound by that particular story, that particular trauma. That now we have an opportunity to be a new person who isn't bound by that, who doesn't identify with that story. It's just a story, right? Could be a fiction story that you wrote. I invite you to think of it that way now. After Chiron goes direct, it's just a story. It's a story. Maybe you just made it up. Memory is weird that way.
What is Chiron? Is that a star?
It is an asteroid. It is an asteroid, yes. And so it's one of the bigger asteroids. And so it's a planetary body. It's not a planet, but it's kind of like Pluto. You know, it's sort of like, oh, what is it? We don't know. It's big, but it's not a planet. So, but we see it in the night sky. And so it goes retrograde for us during certain periods. And so again, when it goes direct, this is our cue to like release trauma, release those stories. We don't need them anymore. We are done. So this is a really magical time. This is a really magical time where we have had this opportunity to go inside, go inside, go inside. And this is our last moment of like incubation in our beautiful inside feelings. And then it's going to start to sprout. We have planted these seeds, right? We have put them in our fertile ground, and we are going to start to see them sprout. We are going to stay aware through this year of these little seedlings and saplings that are coming up, especially that final wish that we wrote down and we're going to keep, you know, next to our computer or wherever we put it. In fact, I highly recommend, here's a little trick for you. Don't just stick it in the same spot. If you live with someone, ask them to move it around for you. Put it in unexpected places so that you suddenly come across it and go, oh, that's right. I'm supposed to be responsible for making this happen. Because otherwise you'll just become blind to it. If you stick it in the same spot and forget about it, you will literally forget about it. So have someone else move it around if you can. If you don't live with somebody, just move it around yourself. Move it around, put it in new places so that you will rediscover it and go, oh, that's right. Forgot about that. But here it is again. Are there any other questions or anything you wanted to share before we end today, my dears?
I can share just a little bit about another piece that I add
Yes,
to
please.
my nightly ritual of burning. The first night is like January. And you can think of it as maybe pull a card for yourself, or if you work with runes or stones, or is there an energy to also place into January? The
Love that.
second is about February. What are you expecting? What did you do last year in February? It could just all be about that month. And so then that 12 nights makes a full year. And it's just a reminder of how it's a cyclical piece too. There's a cycle within a cycle.
Yes, I love that. Gorgeous. I wish I had the doer deck so we could all pull a card together. But I will be pulling one from my energy attunement deck for sure. I love that idea. Pull one every night and just see what energy goes with that month. And I'm going to write down what energy I got for each month. I love it. So again, as we're coming up with our theme word for, the whole year, we can look at the cycle within the cycle, that we have little cycles within this larger cycle. This is why I created the Creator's Almanac, so that we can see that there's these little cycles within each cycle. There's the weekly cycle and the monthly cycle, and then there's the whole, quarterly cycles and the whole yearly cycle. I am so blessed to have you gorgeous creatures in my life. Thank you so much for joining me for this. It is so much more fun to do it in a group than all by my lonesome. It really is. So thank you so much for this. In fact, I'm going to go and pull that card for myself right now. And I'm going to write that down. Thank you, my dears. And I will see you next week when we will come up with our word of the year, theme of the year. And remember that the next day we do have a workshop with Laura Joseph, who is a Reiki master, and she's going to help us set our energetic intentions for 2024. All right. Mwah!